As the biggest player in the video game console market, PlayStation has quite a bit to manage, especially the games that they publish. A recent Financial Times article is talking about the company's efforts to get more out of their first-party publishers. So what's the scoop?
All right, so Sony's been kind of in a weird loop lately. They have been chasing some trends, and those trends mainly are services. So what are they going to do with PlayStation Plus? They've done a bunch of machinations there and variations, and that kind of keeps evolving. Normal stuff, not too crazy, but they have to sort of be on their toes to compete with things like Game Pass and other services. If anything, Game Pass has proven that that part of the market is going to be dominated by Microsoft and their wheeling and dealing with Game Pass, them buying out studios with big blockbuster games. The thing is, though, and this has to drive Microsoft nuts, they spent $68 million on Activision Blizzard. They spent all this money on all these other studios. They now own big studios, Bethesda, everybody else. At the end of the day, though, they don't have Mario. They don't have God of War. They don't have Last of Us. They don't have Nathan Drake. They don't have some really, really tentpole franchises that, by the way, didn't have to be bought from somebody. In some cases, they were deals with other publishers. Sometimes they were studios that were acquired, but they're not just buying studios to get their IPs. Sony's buying studios, and then they develop games they want to make. Ghost of Tsushima is an amazing example of that. The upcoming sequel to that. These are award-winning, massive, genre-defining titles that the others chase. So I say this is the right idea. Make them keep chasing.
Are you going to be the platform or the content maker or both? Right? Mm-hmm. Netflix is both, but it also still acquires content. Paramount, yeah, it's got a platform, but it's mostly making content. Sony is only a content maker for most things, not a platform. Yeah, they have Crunchyroll, but you don't see a Sony movies platform. You don't see a Sony platform the way you see an HBO Max for Warner.
They've struggled with that.
This seems to be what they're best at, is making high quality content that they make their money from by selling to other people. There's no reason why that can't work for video games as well.